So, check this out, people. Today is Monday, and it is almost 7 o'clock at night. It's 96 degrees today, so it's really, really hot. Today, I'm going to talk about something that a lot of people are afraid to talk about. People are afraid to talk about this because they don't want to be labeled as homophobic. They don't want to be labeled as hateful, as a bigot. Unfortunately, today in America, if you stand for common sense, you're labeled as someone who has no sense. If you stand for the things that used to mean something and that mattered, they label you as crazy. It's as if though we're living in a bizarro world where everything is backwards, everything is the opposite of the norm. I'm here today to talk about the things that a lot of us are thinking but are afraid to say because nobody wants the backlash. Nobody wants to be a man. Nobody wants to be a woman and speak the truth about the things that protect those who are innocent, like our children. And so I'm here today to say the things that is going to catch me a lot of hate. But it doesn't matter to me because, again, people want to say this, they're just afraid to do it. I could care less. I could care less because I lived in a time when men were men and women were women. And it didn't matter if you were gay or straight, nobody cared as long as you didn't bother the children. Women who were lesbians knew their place. Men who were gay knew their place. Men who were straight knew their place. They knew that if they messed with children, they would get their asses kicked. Nobody cared what you did in the privacy of your home. Nobody cared who you slept with. Nobody cared whose hairy balls you wanted to suck or whose sweaty balls. Nobody gave a fuck. It's nobody's business what you do or who you do it with. No one cared if you sleep or slept with a dog. It's nobody's business. Nobody's. The problem today is that you have this agenda, right? Where these pedophiles who call themselves woke, who hide behind the word woke, think that it's okay to sexualize our children. And when people like me stand up and say, bro, that's not going to fly with me, they want to then pretend that they're offended because they stand by an organization or a word, or they stand behind this woke narrative, believing that it's okay for a man whose balls are as big as mine to walk into a little girl's bathroom just because they believe that they are 15-year-old girls or grown-ass man wearing a dress and a wig with a beard who claims to be a woman and feels that he has the right to use the little girl's bathroom. Now, I don't care what you think or what you say. You gotta be fucking crazy to think that's okay. You gotta be a pedophile. You gotta be stupid. You gotta be sick. You gotta be crazy sick to believe that a grown ass man who calls himself woke, which is a political word, it's been politicized and it's been taken over by this pedophile ring, this agenda to sexualize our children. And anybody who comes along, whether on television, whether on YouTube, I don't care if it's Disney, I don't care if it's the Biden administration who have created laws that protect pedophiles, who created laws that protect grown men who want to use women's bathrooms, who want to compete against women in women's sports, who want to go to women's prisons just because they claim that they feel like a woman. Hell, I identify as a white female lesbian. So as of now, for those who are watching me, I am a white female lesbian who only dates women. So I have the right to say everything I'm going to say, right? It is not okay for a grown man to want to use the girls' bathroom. It is not okay for a grown man to want to use the women's bathroom or to want to compete against women. It's funny how this gay agenda, this pedophile agenda, this woke agenda to sexualize our children is only being used by perverts who are male. It's not the women who want to use the men's room. It's not the women who are fighting to compete against men. It's not the women who are arguing and want to go to men's prisons. It's always the perverts. It's always these males, these men dressed in drag. It's always these men wearing wigs who claim to be women who want to be involved in everything that is female. It's not the female gays, it's not the lesbians who want to use the men's room. They don't want to compete against men. They're not trying to push that agenda on men. It is the men putting the agenda and pushing the agenda onto women and children. And anybody that claims to be woke, anyone who supports this woke agenda, including Disney, are a bunch of pedophiles, including the Biden administration, who have created laws that protect pedophiles and give them the right to perform drag shows in front of children who are 5 years old and under. When I was a kid in school, the first thought in my mind wasn't that I wanted to watch a drag show. It wasn't that I wanted to use the little girl's room. What I wanted to do was play. What I wanted to do was eat. I wanted candy. I wanted to go outside. I wanted the new G.I. Joe. That's what I wanted. The new Evil Knievel motorcycle that was just coming out. Children don't think about sex. This nonsense that these lowlives, these woke lowlives who promote themselves and promote this woke nonsense are the only ones that want us to believe that children wake up in the morning thinking about their sex. They're the ones that want to promote this nonsense. Does that make sense to anyone out there who is listening to me? Does it make sense that anyone who speaks against these lowlives are the enemy? We live in a world today when anyone who goes against this narrative is considered a villain. They want to create laws that protect the pedophiles but don't protect our children. You can't send your children to school nowadays because they want to teach nonsense to our children. They want to put up the gay flag rather than the American flag. They want to discriminate against people who are straight and against parents who are not interested in their children's sexuality, but rather whether or not they can add, subtract, and do simple arithmetic so that when they graduate from high school, they have the ability to support themselves outside of the household. Instead, they want us to send our children to school for what? So that they can learn that a boy could be a girl and a girl could be a boy? Bro, are you fucking kidding me? If you believe that stupidity, you're a pervert. I don't care who you are. I don't care what you think. I don't care what you might say. If you call yourself woke and you're a grown ass man, married with children, and you support the woke agenda, you're a low life pedophile or a low life person who believes in pedophilia and supports it. And that doesn't make any sense to any sane person. Try going to prison preaching that nonsense and watch what's going to happen to you. If you don't believe that what I'm saying doesn't make any fucking sense, it only makes sense to those who are crazy. It only makes sense to those who are perverts. And it only makes sense to those who are pedophiles. And unfortunately, whether you want to hear this or not, whether you like it or not, the Biden administration is a low-life administration that promotes pedophilia. All the laws, or the majority of the laws that they've created, have been created to support and protect pedophiles rather than protect our children. When I send my daughter to school and she's 5 years old, why the fuck does the school or does the administration, presidential administration, give a fuck about whether or not the school should put on a drag show for 5-year-old kids? Instead of shutting that down immediately, there shouldn't be any question about that. There are laws that protect our daughters against pornography, against sexual trafficking, against them being used in porn against their will. Yet you want me to send my children to school, my 5-year-old to school, my grandchildren to school, and tell them that it's okay to be influenced by pedophiles who claim to be woke, who hide behind that 4-letter word, thinking that that's okay, that that's normal for them to hear that it's okay for a little boy to bend over while another little boy puts it inside him. And don't be mad at what I'm saying or how I'm saying it, because there are books written in the United States for 5-year-old little boys and little girls that say exactly what I just said. And you think it's okay? It's okay for a 5-year-old to read that, or for a school teacher to read that filth to a 5-year-old little boy, but it's not okay for a grown-ass man to say it out loud to other grown-ass people, because they're easily offended and triggered when people like me stand up for the children. And if you can stand for pedophilia, and if you can stand for low-life pieces of shit who believe in it, then I can stand for the children. I can stand for the Constitution, which says and protects me when I say fuck pedophilia, fuck the woke movement, and fuck anybody who thinks it's okay to sexualize our children. Okay? If you don't like it, change the channel. If you don't like it, go hang out with your pervert friends, and you can talk about all the perversion that you want, but do it with grown-ups. Do it with men and women your age. You want to use the men's room? Grab yourself by your big balls and go use the men's room. Because only low-life perverts who are grown with bigger balls than me want to use the little girls' room. Does that make any sense to anybody out there who's listening to me? Does it make sense to you that any grown-ass man on YouTube or on television or in government or school officials would side with pedophiles to protect them and to sexualize our children and believe that that's okay, and anyone who speaks against them is homophobic, is creating danger, or is causing these perverts to commit suicide or to be hurt? How about the children who you're hurting? It's okay to hurt the children, man. Fuck you. You don't like it, fuck off. You don't like it, slap yourself. You don't like it, take a walk. It's just that simple. My channel is a grown man's channel. My channel is a grown woman's channel. If you're gay, I love the fact that you can watch me. If you're a lesbian, I appreciate the fact that you can watch me. If you're straight, I appreciate the fact that you can watch me, man or woman. But my channel is not for children. My channel is not for the woke. My channel is not for those who are perverts and who encourage this woke agenda. And if you don't like it, fuck you. If you don't like it, well, and you're a man and you believe it's okay, then go into your own room, in your own home, in the privacy of your house and suck dick. It's nobody's business. It's none of my business whose dick you suck, bro. None of my business. Just like it's none of your business that I identify as a white female lesbian and that I like women. It's none of your business. And it's nobody's business whether you're woke or whether you're asleep to come on YouTube or on television and promote your agenda. If you don't like it, fuck you. If you don't like it, make a video. Make a video and explain to me why you think, as a grown ass man with children of your own, to go on YouTube and support this woke agenda that sexualizes our children. Look at what's happened to Disney since they've gone woke. Look at what's happened to them. Parents have pulled their children out of Disney World, Disneyland. You have employees who have quit. Their stock has tanked. Their Disney Plus channel has lost members. All because when I turn on the television for my child, who's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years old, and I put it on Disney Plus, I don't need to hear a cartoon made for 5-year-olds talking about how they're non-binary or how the boy feels like a little girl. Nobody gives a fuck about your agenda. You want to push perversion? Push it to men and women of your age. I have no problem with pornography. You want to watch porn? You want to jerk off to porn? Do it at home. Don't bring that bullshit to our children. If it's not okay to sexually traffic women or to force them into pornography, why is it okay for you to push this woke agenda onto our children who don't wake up with sex on their minds? And if you don't like the way I'm laying it down, don't pick it up. My channel is raw, and I put it out there without a condom because, baby, I like it raw. And if you don't like it because you're woke, you can go into the next room in your house and go suck dick because you're a grown-ass man and you can do that. But leave the children out of it. I'm not interested in hearing your woke message. I'm not interested in listening to how you support the woke agenda. I am not interested, nor do I want to hear it. And though the new administration has created laws to support and protect pedophiles, the United States Constitution protects people like me who want to speak their mind against people like you who support and promote pedophilia. That includes the Biden administration, who created the laws to protect pedophiles, from the president to the vice president, and to these school boards who think it's okay to allow drag queens to walk into a classroom full of preschool kids and give them lap dances. Like the pieces of shit, low-life perverts they are. And you're not going to tell me that's not an agenda to sexualize our children by pedophiles. All you have to do is study the history and understand why all of a sudden, within the past 5 or 6 years, the agenda to sexualize our children has become stronger and stronger and is being pushed harder and harder by those who are in high positions, like the President of the United States. And hopefully we can get that low-life piece of shit out of office and put someone who can actually stand by our children and protect our children. You can be a pervert all you want, bro. Leave it at home. I don't send my kids so they can listen to nonsense. It's not why I send my kids to school. You know, parents back home in the U.S. should do what the Mexicans and the Latinos did some years ago when they performed a sit down or a whatever you want to call it, when they stood home from work for just one day. Every Latino refused to go to work for a day, and the country was shut down, and proved to America that they could not live without the Latinos, because the Latinos did most of the work that most Americans refuse to do. And if the parents who want to protect their children believe that the only way to protect our children is to keep our children at home from school. What I recommend is that every parent in the United States, in every major city, keep their children at home for a month and shut the schools down for 1 month. So when the teachers go to an empty classroom for 30 days and realize that nobody wants to entrust their children to these perverts, watch how the situation changes really fast. Because this woke agenda bullshit by perverts, whether on YouTube, whether on social media, whether on mainstream media, whether in our governments, if we don't speak against it, if we don't stand against it, we will lose our children. And that's not going to happen with me, bro. That's not going to happen. So if you want to talk about being woke, you want to compare yourself to P. Diddy and say you're all Diddy all day, and someone like me comes on YouTube and calls you a low-life pedophile or someone who believes in pedophilia because you promote the woke agenda and you don't like it, you said it, bro. I didn't. I just repeated it and said it in a tone that actually makes more sense than the tone that you use when you promote your nonsense and your wokeness and try to push that bullshit onto those that watch you. I suggest you stick to the stock market, bro. Now, now that I've spoke against this woke nonsense, it's time, people, that you wake up and go to sleep. It's time that you took a nap from that woke bullshit that people are trying to push onto you. I don't care who it is. I do not care who it is. I will go to prison. I will go to jail for what I believe. And what I believe is that if we don't protect our children, nobody will. These perverts who promote the woke agenda, whether Disney, whether any administration, whether any government, any school official, they need to be shut down. If they don't like it, fuck off. That's it. If they don't like it, fuck off. Grow the fuck up. Stop messing with little boys and little girls. They are not interested in your bullshit. Children are not interested in watching porn when they wake up at 6 in the morning and turn on the television. All they want to do is watch cartoons and eat cereal. That's all they want to do. So people, wake the fuck up and go to sleep. Take a nap and start protecting your children from this bullshit and this nonsense. I don't care who's pushing it. I don't care if they're on YouTube or on the television. Now, that being said, I'm going to talk about something completely random and completely different. Men are working outside. And so that's all the noise you're listening to. And unfortunately, I got to work through it. So anyway, a random thing having nothing to do with the things I just spoke about. I need to bring this out into light. Everyone knows that me and Rance have a love-hate relationship, if you want to call it that. He's a GME pumper, and I'm a believer that he is a scammer, just like all of these other AMC scammers who have been pumping and pushing this MOAS nonsense to the masses and have caused thousands of people to lose their monies. Usually when I listen to the nonsense he talks about, I can't help but having to make a video disputing the lies that he says. I know he believes that I come after him because I don't like him. The fact is, Morant, you're a pretty smart guy. Everybody knows that. I only wish you the best on your career, right? Your YouTube career, because I have no career in YouTube. We both know that. I don't get paid. I don't do this for money. I'm happy with just posting videos. I do it for fun. I do it because I'm retired and I don't have any friends. And you know how it is, Morant, right? And so you need to understand that if I talk about you and call you a scammer when you pump GME, it's because you're the only lowlife on YouTube pushing this bullshit to the masses. Unlike the AMC pumpers, who are many, or at least there were at least 100 during my days, now there's probably like 5 or 6. Unlike them, you are the only one pushing the GME agenda. And so I wish there were others like you so that I can come after them too. The problem is, it's just you. It's not that I don't like you. It's just that I am a believer that people who pump AMC, GME, or any other stock, I don't care what it is, and claim that it's going to the moon, and claim all of this nonsense that you claim, right? My job is to call you out. And so I know this subject has nothing to do with what I just spoke about, but the reason why I'm throwing this in is because I suggest this, Morant. What I suggest is that you allow me to come onto your live so you and I can have a debate, right? On your live. I'm sure every one of your followers would appreciate watching you and I debate. You can ask me about my looks, and I can ask you about Ryan Cohen. You can ask me why I talk so slow, and I can ask you why GME is tanking so fast. You can ask me why I have the face that only a mother could love, and I can ask you why you've been pumping this nonsense about GME for so long and have caused thousands of people to lose their monies. You know, the things that matter to you and your followers, the important things, right? And so, what I recommend is that we do that. Allow me to come on your live. I'm sure it'll be good for your career, your YouTube career. And it'll probably help boost your ratings. It'll help boost your views because you got close to 10,000 subscribers, but you don't even get a quarter of the views that you should, according to the amount of subscribers you have. So I think this would help your career. I think you're pretty smart. And I think that if you and I get into the ring together, right, the live show ring, not the actual ring, because I'm sure you can kick my ass, right? Because this is like a Tyson and a Duran fight, right? A Roberto Duran fight. I mean, you're Tyson, I'm Roberto Duran. No mas, no mas. So let's just end this with a debate. And you can ask me all those questions about my personal looks, and I can ask you all those questions about GME, and we can clear the air. I'm sure your subscribers would appreciate it. I'm sure this will help increase your views. We can put it on your channel because, again, I'm a failed YouTuber. I don't make money on this. I don't get paid by YouTube, so I could care less. Besides, I'm not a professional YouTuber like you. I don't even know how to go on live. So do me a favor, Morant, make a video and give me a date and time when you want us to go on live together, and I will figure it out, and you and I can debate everything that I just talked about. And by the way, you're woke, right? Because you say you're woke, you promote this woke agenda also. I'm sure your viewers would also like to hear about that. So, or Diddy, or day, that's what you said on your live the other day. I'm sure your viewers would want to hear about that too. So let's go on live and let's have a debate, okay? I mean, I'm sure you're gonna win. You're a fast talker. And just be patient with me, Morant, because you know how slow I talk. I do have a speech impediment. I'm dyslexic. I have to concentrate in order to choose certain words that are jumping around inside my head because there's so many words at the same time flowing out that I have to purposely, intentionally concentrate in order to say the right things the right way. If not, I'm going to trip over my words. I'm going to bite my tongue, my cheeks. It's just one of those issues that I've had. And it's taken me a long time to get to the point where I am now. And I've learned how to slow my roll, slow how I talk, and think slowly so that I'm able to articulate the things that I want to articulate in a way where everyone could understand. And that's why I talk slow. So please be patient with me. You're a pretty smart guy. I appreciate your channel. I appreciate the things you talk about. Put me on. Let's have this debate. And I'm sure everyone would appreciate the fact that you and I are going to step into the ring like Tyson and Duran. No mas, and we can end this war that you believe I have against you and you believe I don't like you. The fact is, again, you're the only GME pumper. There are hundreds of AMC pumpers. And when you do watch me, you know I talk about every one of them. Every one of them. And I've been right about every one of them, including you. Right, Morantz? So let's go ahead and do this. And let's give the people what they want, a show. Okay? So Morantz, let's make a video.